So, good morning. I'm very, very happy you made the way to Thailand, and I feel I'm very inspired because we have been here like a month already, and I had time to prepare mentally, but I feel this is a very good place and a very good group, like really the core group of our users. And so I want to make it really, from my side, like a really, not a push-the-button seminar, but what is really much more important for me. What's the overall picture? What are we doing? Why we are doing this? And so this will be from my part. This will be the topic. And as I said, we do only the mornings. We do here, and then the afternoon we go into nature. And this has become a very important part of my life, to alternate the polarities. Because before, especially being German, I come actually from a program that doesn't allow you to just switch. No, you have, everything is in a certain form. See, our whole schooling system, you go to school 8 till 1 or like 8 to 5, or your work, it all comes from Germany. They invented this crazy idea of going to school, sitting 45 minutes, 10 minutes break, and another 45 minutes. It's German, yes? So when you look in those crazy structures of today, they come from Germany. Not only the car and the rocket and the computer, which were of course also invented in Germany. Also all the other crazy things come from Germany. So really, the number one topic today and for the rest of the week will be how we can make disease really meaningful, not only meaningful, but useful for our own evolution. And I have invited Steve. He's from Malaysia, and he talks about something that I really don't know much about it, about using nutrition for healing, and he has many, he says he actually has most of the time only last stage cancers and other diseases, and he can treat them with nutrition. So now, does this kind of contradict my main idea that everything comes from the informational plane? Everything is, if we have problems, it originates in the informational plane. Or is it true maybe that it comes from biochemical disturbance? Yes? So maybe I should not have invited him, because he's making my whole theory questionable. So now, I tell you, I hear many times this story. It's a very interesting thing. They use core therapy, or they are being treated by core, by a practitioner, and then they come later and say, well, I'm healed, you see. I don't know if it's core, because I also started to change my diet at the same time I started this, or like a little later after I started core, yes? Or, well, I'm not sure if it's really core. I really also changed my relationship a little bit later, so I don't know if it's core, or if it's really that I feel better, that I'm free again, or something like this. So you see this, you hear this many times, and this is happening since the time of Hahnemann. Hahnemann, the founder of homeopathy, he was in the same problematic situation that I am in, because homeopathy is really the perfect informational medicine. There is no energy. It's not energy medicine. People who say homeopathy is energy medicine, they don't know what they're talking about. they get always in problems with the physicists who say, where's your energy? Well, it's subtle, we cannot measure it, but of course it's there. They don't know what they're talking about. It's informational. And so we have the same laws to deal with, like homeopathy, and we also have the same problems to deal with. And so what is the number one, or one of the main problems, is that information is really very invisible. And it's also something that we really have very little experience with how to understand it. So, but when we change our diet, of course, we think that's very real. That's real. And that's a real change. But if we change our attitude, well, it's really a placebo thing, huh? It is not as real as changing your diet. Yes, and anybody can change his attitude, no problem. You choose your attitude, but to change your diet, you really have to make really an effort, and you have to have a good advice. So we have this idea, information is kind of something vague, it's something subjective, it's something you can choose, whereas physical things and energy things, this is the real thing. But it's the opposite. Whenever something changes in our life, we first have to have the idea to change it. We first have to have a plan. We first have to have some informational input. And then this information has to be put into control mechanisms that usually use energy to bring it to the recipient, let's say an organ, or when an energy station, power station, wants to change something, the information has to come from the computer, from the central computer that controls everything. So you will very often have this situation that people say, well, I did core, but a little later I also changed this or I changed this, so I'm really not sure if it's core. And this was 200 years ago. And that's why Hahnemann already said, have people write down what they are having exactly. So later, when you have a real informational cure, usually not even the memory is there that they were sick. Because memory is part of the sickness. As long as you have a memory of the sickness, it means it's part of the trauma. So that's when you have a real cure, you don't even remember you were sick. So why did I invite Steve? Because I know it's very important, but it's a secondary thing. It's in the line of command. First, there has to be a change of attitude. For example, to even look for somebody like Steve, or even go on the internet and see, how would I come to the idea that I want to change my diet? This is an informational impulse that comes from, where does it come from? It comes from a change of attitude. And this is what core is doing. So you will have this normally and actually it's the rule, more or less it's a rule. Information cannot, let's say, make you beautiful without you doing anything. Cannot make you lose weight without you making any changes in your diet. Cannot make you rich without changing anything in your life. But it can give you all the information, the impulses to do something different. And opposite, also if somebody comes to Steve, for example, we talked about this yesterday, where are the cases that he's not so successful. He said, number one, if it's either a medical doctor or he has like relatives that are medical doctors. Why? Because they all tell the patient, Are you crazy? You have cancer. You need real things. You need real radiation therapy. You need real chemotherapy. Forget this, this nutrition thing. You can do this afterwards or whatever. So they give him exactly what he doesn't need. He would need an attitude change, an informational change. But they give him the opposite. So he has a little bit an idea, I should go there. But then everybody tells him, are you crazy? You have something real, so you have to look for some, no, we don't need, don't need. So, because I put them under the table. So, see, that's a pattern. You have to have a microphone. If you're a speaker, you have to have a microphone. He was searching for the microphone. Where did the microphones go? So this is a pattern. And we have this pattern in our life. And that's the next important thing that I want to talk and explore more with you. The reason why we get sick is also informational. And then we have the best possibility now to learn from the computer. What makes the computer sick? Yes? What is it that makes a computer sick?
A glitch in the software.
And what's a glitch in the software? What does it do actually?
Excess of information.
Huh?
Excess of information.
Oh no, it can do. I mean, it can deal almost with unlimited information. See, that's it. I mean, imagine it can GPS, a little GPS as a microprocessor. It checks all the streets of the whole world to find the street that you want to go to, and all the streets that are in between the street where you are and the street where you want to go. It's like unlimited. It's really unlimited information. And computers can deal with this very easy, unbelievably easy. Google checks 1 trillion documents for the keyword that you are searching for. So there's no limit. So what's really the glitch?
It's the information that's not used, both programs that are not used, that are there continuously, but they're not needed.
No, I think this is not, because if you make a good software, it chooses the right software, but what happens when a computer gets stuck? Always.
You turn it off.
No, that's the remedy, but what is happening inside the computer? And that's what I want to, it's the same that happens in people. I tell you, it's always the same problem in people also.
It's wrong information.
No, it's not the wrong information. It's always the same. And you know, you have to be a programmer to know this. It's repeating the same command over and over. And so in every program, there's a line, if this is the case, do this. But then for some reason, this is the case. And the case says, if this is the case, go back to the if. So then it checks again, if this is the case, do what? Go to this. And this says, if this is the case, go back to the if. There's no other glitch really. It always comes to this. That's when it's frozen. We say it's frozen, but it's not frozen. It's repeating the same loop millions and millions of times per second. See, we think it's not doing anything. It's super busy. So, can we say this happens also in humans? And I say it's the same in humans. Yes? And you will see this when you look at people, at your clients from this point of view. Then you will see it's the same thing. And for example, I got an email, and we want to really make this practical. Today I got an email from a good friend, and she said, I would have really liked to come, and this is the first time I'm not coming, and you know, my husband, he had his 50-year birthday, and we had to make all this expense for his birthday, and I really wanted to make his birthday very beautiful, so I didn't have the money. So, okay, this is 1 out of 1 million possible polarities or contradictions, conflicts that we can have in life. So that's not a problem. Then she does something else, she has a nice birthday party, and okay, it's a little bit painful, no problem. But if tomorrow the husband says, well, I really need you here because I don't feel good being alone. So don't go to the seminar, maybe not tomorrow, but in a month, yes? Don't go to the seminar because I really like you to be here. Okay. Husband says, if you go away, I'm not lucky, I'm not happy, so stay here, do this. So now, then the person says, well, now I'm limiting myself again. Yes? So, but because I'm limited, what do I need? I need more feedback from my partner, he really loves me. Yes? So go back to if. So, you really love me? Yes, I really love you. I love you so much, I don't want to be without you. So, next time, please also don't go. So, okay, what to go back to there? I feel, really I really would need to have more people around me, to make more exchange, to have more connections. But I really also love my husband. So, this is the first thing I want to have in my life, to have a really reliable connection to one person, at least, first of all. Yes? So, okay, go back to if. Yes? And the husband is in the same problem, yes, in the same situation. So it becomes an infinite loop. So that's how relationships usually end. Everybody is dependent on the other, and the other is so dependent, he makes the other more dependent, and then this one is getting less open, more dependent, so it's an infinite loop. This is just one example. Can happen with your husband, can happen with your children, can happen with your work. Yes? These are infinite loops. And so, this is what I want to talk about in this. It's actually only I'm doing 1 hour every day or 1.5 hours in these 5 days. Okay.